Hey guys, we are going to be continuing where I left off last video. I'm going to be making the backstory for Helico Atlas. Just a quick note, I am going to be using ChatGPT to help me tie my ideas, my thoughts, and what I want for this character together. If you don't like that, feel free to click off. I completely understand. But if you are willing to bear with that, then please continue watching. So, first off, I did some stuff off camera. I edited the character sheet, and I wrote down the section for backstory, kind of tidied it up a little bit. I put down the basic information, which is what we're going to be basing this character off of, which is, as you can see here, Helico Atlas was born the youngest sibling to the ruling royal family of Atlantis. That is all I wrote down off camera. So let's actually start. First, so Helico Atlas was born the youngest sibling to the royal family of Atlantis. That's basic information. That is what we're going to be building this whole thing off of. Okay, what other basic information do I have for him? Well, he and his family are shark-like humanoids. They look like elves, but have sharp shark teeth, shark tails. Okay, that's basically his family. One of his sisters, the oldest one, is named Gura. Or Gura, however you want to pronounce it, is named Gura, and was the heir to the Atlantean throne. Dope Baba spelling. His other sister, the middle child, joined up with a group of surface dwelling, what's the best way to put it? Prison guards? No, not prison guards. Surface dwelling. With a group of surface dwelling mercenary guards. Joined up with a group of surface dwelling mercenary guards that hide their mercenary work wrong. But they hide their mercenary work behind guise of being maids and butlers. At some point in the backstory, Atlantis was destroyed by some catastrophic event, such as a massive oceanic creature attacking it. Some point in the backstory, Atlantis was destroyed by some catastrophic event, such as a massive oceanic creature attacking it. In the aftermath, the siblings were all separated and lost each other. Okay. Helico, waking in the destroyed remnants of the castle, of the palace, palace sounds better, of the palace, searched vehemently for his siblings, to no avail. Okay. He went on decades. That's not spelled decade. I can't English. Decades long. Search for them. Ultimately, he found out their current locations coincided in the continent of Aetherwell. Ultimately found out their current location coincided in the continent of Aetherwell, where he now finds himself. Okay, so that is the basic information. One thing we should put into the backstory is also, okay, so this is gonna have to do with a subclass, since he does start with this subclass. Subclass information. Okay, So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to find this subclass, I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to put it on here. Because when I put it into ChatGPT, if I just tell it the subclass, it won't know what it is because it hasn't been fed the information of Ryoku's, which is fair and makes sense. So I'll have to put it in so it at least knows what I'm talking about. Okay. So this is basically the subclass. This is the flavor test for the subclass and all that, which is nice. And then I'm also going to put the third... And then I'm also going to put... Actually, maybe I don't put this in here. Yeah, I am going to put this in here because it also is kind of important information. Because it, like, you know, goes with the fact you can change stuff. So that's basically the class info. That's the subclass information straight from the book. Not my own writing, just straight from the source material. And now I gotta kind of put it into a way that makes sense into what I am planning. Which is really the... Honestly, I should also mention that... Okay. His race is a simic hybrid reflavored with the... Simic fly. It's a simic hybrid. Simic doesn't have a Y. I seem to keep forgetting that. Simic hybrid with the underwater adaptation, which is reflavored as his shark-like tail and teeth and gills. Definitely an easier way to put all that. His subclass deals with transforming his skeletal structure. That's not how you spell structure. Transforming skeletal structure to aid in combat. Possibly more than likely reflavored as his cartilaginous cartilage. Okay. Cartilage. I hate when it says cartilage. Flavors as his cartilage. Yes, just more likely reflavored as his cartilage. Cartilage adapting to how he's learned to fight. Since his body is made of cartilage, it would make sense that cartilage is really flexible and it is not bone. Sharks do have some bone in them, but it's mostly their teeth and jaw. If I remember correctly, that is actually basically their only bones. I may be wrong, don't quote me on that. But most of their body is cartilage, which is very bendable, flexible, and can be easily transformed if we're talking about in a D&D setting. Okay, so it is also important that I use world information. So, ChatGPT knows the limitations and stuff we use. So, world information. There is no magic. However, each civilization has their own technological field they excel in. Perhaps the Atlanteans were skilled in a form of technology that would work well in the depth of the ocean. There's no magic. That's not how you spell Excel. No. Also, there are also no demons or demonic imagery, so make sure to avoid that. Okay, this is really all the basic information you need. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to literally copy, paste, scroll down to the bottom. I do that twice, so there's a gap. And I'm gonna say, please use this information to make a backstory in D&D 5e. Keep your response under, we'll say, under 7th middle child called I forgot to put Ellen's name in there. Oops, I'm gonna do that on this too. You guys were probably yelling at me, weren't you? Okay, let's read this through. Helico Atlas was born the youngest prince of Atlantis, a majestic kingdom hidden in the ocean's deepest trenches. As a member of the royal family, he was raised among towering coral spires, bioluminescent gardens, and machinery powered by deep-sea pressure and geothermal currents. That's a good way to do it, actually. Atlantean technology unmatched beneath the waves. That was a continuation of that sentence. Oops. Unlike his two older sisters, Helico was quiet and observant, more drawn to the city's intricate infrastructure than to the courtly politics his siblings trained for. Gura, the eldest, was supposed to inherit the throne. Ellen, the middle child, never fitted the mold, and eventually left to join a group of elite service mercenaries, guardians disguised as servants. Okay, pretty good way to put that in. When Atlantis fell, it was without warning. A titanic sea creature, a mystery of the abyss, breached the city's protective dome and left ruin in its wake. Helico awoke in the collapsed palace, the water still thick with salt and blood. Not salt, silt. Salt too, and blood. Driven by panic and duty, he searched the rubble for Gura and Ellen. But the once luminous corridors held no answers, only silence. With no family, no nation, and only fragments of his home's technology left clinging to his body, Helico swam to the unknown. His journey across the oceans lasted decades. He survived crushing deaths, surface storms, and endless battles with scavengers and warlords. Along the way, Helico's body changed. His shark-like biology, already unique among his people, began to adapt, guided by the combat philosophies of the surface and the survivalist instincts of the deep. He learned to manipulate his body, refining the martial discipline that bent his cartilage and bone into lethal shapes. His technique, inspired by stories of ancient skeletal warriors, made him a walking arsenal. Claws, armor, blades, and wings of bone. Well, probably not the wings part, I can cut that out on my own. Eventually, Helico found rumors of two surface dwellers who matched the description of his sisters. Gura, a mysterious leader in a coastal refuge, and Ellen, a hardened agent for the so-called Silver Mantle in the heart of Aetherworld. Helico's trail led him to this fractured continent where technology thrives in isolated bastions, and where old world knowledge is hidden in vaults, not tombs. I'm gonna have to edit that a little bit. Not vaults, maybe they're all vaults, I don't know if that's the deal. Here he continues his search, not just to reunite his family, but to understand what destroyed Atlantis and why. Though no longer a prince in title, Helico carries his lineage like a weight and a weapon. His skeletal discipline marks him as a relic of a lost world. Part ghost, part soldier, beneath his calm demeanor lies a storm of pain, duty, and desperation. Every battle is a chance to sharpen his abilities, and every encounter might bring him closer to the truths of his sisters. Now a stranger in Aetherworld, Etherworld, I can never remember. Helico walks among surface dwellers who barely believe in the sea, hiding his identity behind shifting boat and altered features. His eyes remain sharp, his purpose unshaken. Somewhere in this new world, his sisters are alive, and whatever secrets the surface holds, Helico will uncover them, one fight at a time. I say, generally, that is pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do this. I'm going to go to subtitle, and I'm going to story. I'm going to do it in all caps, because why not? Why is it? Oh, because, no. Oh, gosh. Okay, there we go. Okay, just make sure. And I am going to paste. Now, okay, we know where all this is. Don't mind me just reading this through real quick, trying to find where the places were. The things I needed to change. There we go. It's not really a fractured continent. Yeah, Dragon Bastion of a continent. Technology thrives. Yes, technology does thrive. There's an entire faction of warforged that are insane. World knowledge is hidden. Don't really need to do that. Research, understand. Yep. Though we no longer prince the title, part ghost, part soldier, now a stranger in Aetherworld, believe in the myth of deeper. There we go. Shifting bone and alter features. I think that is a really good backstory, and I think with this, I can safely say the basic backstory is done. I'm probably gonna edit it in my own time to kind of be even a little bit more consistent, so my DM, has a lot to work with, and I can put more stuff in that he can work with. This is a pretty bare bones, honestly. It just gives basic backstory, things like that, things my DM to latch onto, but not a lot, just enough though. But hey, can't really say too much because my other character has a lot. So this is probably a welcome change if I do ever get to play this for him. So, thank you guys for watching, and, well, I guess I'll see you another time. Bye!